Spain. She's written a book about the crocodile who didn't like water. It's a bit unusual, isn't it? So this story is about being a little bit different. This little crocodile sits there while all his brothers and sisters are having fun, thinking, I don't like water, it's cold and it's wet and I don't want to get into it. But then I'm not having any fun because they're all having fun in the water and I'm not. So read the story about the little crocodile and you'll find out at the end of the story why he is a little bit different and why he doesn't like water. And this is a book where particularly the older ones have to look very closely, not just at all the words, but at what we call the end papers. And end papers are before the story even starts. Have a look at the end. There's an end paper at the end as well. And it'll reveal a little twist to the story that the words won't tell you. So that's something to look out for in this book. Okay? The next one is called Bob and Rob. And it's about a burglar called Rob and a dog called Bob. It's by a lady called Sue Pickford, but when I looked on Sue Pickford's website, it says, and I have to read this, it says her name is really Ying Yi Chun. But when she was at school, she gave herself the name Sue Pickford so that all the other boys and girls could remember her name more easily. So she's actually a Chinese lady, and she says she used to do lots of drawing when she was younger on the paper that they used for making menus in Chinese restaurants, because her parents owned a Chinese restaurant, and she used to draw on all the paper they had for printing the menus on. She's written a story about this burglar called Bob. No, I keep getting it wrong. A burglar's called Rob, and the dog's called Bob. I have to remember that. So the burglar's called Rob, and he's really, really bad. He doesn't only steal things, he leaves banana skins on the pavement for people to slip on. He rings old ladies' doorbells and runs away. He's really bad. Whereas his dog, Bob, is really good. He helps little old ladies across the road. He bakes beautiful cakes and he knits jumpers. He doesn't want to be a burglar's dog. He wants to belong to a nice family. But one night, Rob the burglar, look, they go out to steal things and Bob has to go too. And they end up stealing a pile of presents. Look, a sack full of children's presents. And Bob the dog is not very happy that they've done that at all. So you have to read the story and see if Bob the dog manages to save the day. Okay, so that's that one. The next one is about a brother and sister called Sydney and Stella who are always arguing. It's called Sydney, Stella and the Moon. I don't know if you fall out with your brother or sister, but if you look at this story, when you get the chance to read it, you'll see it might say that they're having a lot of fun with the words, but actually if you look at the pictures, they're not having very much fun at all, because one's tying up the other one and one's annoying that one. And in fact, one day they get so cross with each other. There's the moon in the sky, and one day they're kicking a ball, and they kick a ball so hard because they get cross that they manage to knock the moon out of the sky. We're going to see if it just says, gone. So because they argued so much, they knocked the moon out of the sky, and they think, perhaps no one will notice. But there's a wonderful page you can open out is, look, the cats are chasing him, and the penguin's there somewhere trying to escape. So lots of colourful pages to have a look at, and the little penguin to find, and see if he manages to find his way back to the zoo. You can see how the books are all very different from each other. So there'll be some that you think, oh gosh, I like the look of that one. Others you think, that might be for slightly younger children, some might be for slightly older children. This one is called Pirate. It's got lots of piratey words in it. It says, I am pirate, I will eat your dinner, steal your treasure. Ah, me hearties, meet my fearsome crew. So there's his pirate crew, and it goes through the story. They talk about how they're not scared of anything. Sharks don't scare us, the dark doesn't scare us, but actually, perhaps that great big hairy paw might scare us. Looks like there's a monster on the way. So if you read the story, you'll find out who the monster is. Oh, some more boys and girls come in. Right. Okay, the next one, again, it's got colourful end papers. So a picture to look at before the story starts. And if you look at the picture at the front, when you go to the back of the book, when the story's finished, there's a similar picture at the back, and you can see all the different things that have changed, a bit like a spot the difference page. This one is called Hugh Shampoo, and it's about a little boy whose parents are hairdressers, but in actual fact, he will not have his hair washed, brushed, combed, or anything. He's got really, really messy hair. But Mr. and Mrs. Shampoo want to go in for a special competition, and they want you to be a model in their competition, but of course he doesn't want to. So they've got to find someone else to enter the hairdressing competition, and they despair of Hugh with his messy hair. But you have to see if Hugh ends up going into the competition and winning it for Mr. and Mrs. Shampoo, or if it's a disaster because of his messy hair. So there he is. This lady obviously likes drawing pictures of messy hair. You won't be able to see it at the back, I know, but this one she illustrated for Julie Donaldson. It's got a little boy with messy hair, so she obviously likes drawing pictures of boys and girls with messy hair. So that's that one. There's two more to show you. This one is the only one in the competition written by a man. Don't know why, all the others are written by ladies, but this is the only one written by a man. And it's called Ready, Teddy, Go. It's about a race, and there's lots and lots of detail on all the pages to look at, and all the different cars that are in the race. And there's a fox, a wily fox, who's determined to win by cheating. And here's Steady Teddy. We'll have to see if he manages to win the race, because all sorts of naughty things go on where they try and cheat. But you can look at all the detail on the pages. There's a really nice page there where they're in Robot City, all the different roads going through the city, and all the different cars racing, and you can see who manages to win the race in the end. And then the last